In this video, we will learn about data frames, which can be thought of as a collection of vectors that hold different information on the same set of subjects or observations. We will first talk about the structure of data frames, then we'll give some basic functions to examine them, and lastly, how to manipulate the data from a data frame. In a public study, one may be interested in recording multiple features or traits of each individual. Examples like height, weight, gender, whether they smoked in the past, or education level are all things we might want to know. Notice that these variables are different in nature. The height and weight are quantitative, while the others are qualitative. We've learned about vectors in previous videos. A data frame is a collection of vectors. Each vector holds one type of information, such as height, weight, or sex. All the vectors are the same length, and they make up the columns of the data frame. The rows correspond to each record. In our example, this means that the first entry in each vector is a measurement of the same person, his or her height, weight, or sex. That person's record for all the variables is then the first row of the data frame. Let's examine an example data frame called health. This data frame is available on the web. If you would like to follow along in R, pause this video and load the data by calling the load function as follows. Be sure you have internet connection when you do this. First, how do we know what we've loaded? The objects function allows you to see what's accessible by typing its variable name. Let's try out some basic functions to examine the data frame called health. Names allows you to see the names of the variables or columns. Here we have weight, height, etc. Dim, short for dimension, gives us the size of the data frame. The first number, 40,000, corresponds to the number of rows or records, while the second, 5, corresponds to the number of columns or variables. Head displays the top few records in the data frames. Here we see a total of 6 records. If we pass a second argument, we can see more than the default 6. This argument is called n. So here now we see a total of 7 records. Class tells you whether the object you're dealing with is indeed a data frame. Lastly, the function summary applies the summary function to all of the columns of our data frame health. Notice how summary produces different summary statistics depending on the data type, quantitative or qualitative. The summary of height gives us the minimum and maximum heights as well as the mean and the quartiles, whereas the summary of gender gives us the count of how many males and females are in our data frame. What if we wanted to work with just one vector within a data frame? To work with one vector, you add to the name of the data frame a $sign, followed by the variable name. Note that the summary function of a numeric vector should return a 5-number summary. We see that this is the case.